Hey there, welcome to the Fabulous Health Show. I'm your host, Terry Chrisman, and I'm a whole foods plant-based nutritionist. And this podcast is all about helping you obtain optimal health so that you can live a long, happy life with grace and vitality. Welcome to episode 17. And today we're going to talk about how you can incorporate more vegetables into your day. But before that, let me tell you about this podcast. It goes live every single day at 10 a.m. US Central Time in October 2021. It's live on Facebook and it's also live on YouTube at Fabulous Health. Directly after that, I load it up to your favorite podcast platform. So just go to fabuloushealth.net and click on the podcast tab, and then you can subscribe to the podcast platform of your choice. So let's get started. Oh, I want to thank you, by the way, for all the people that have downloaded episodes so far and listened. I really, really appreciate you. So today we're going to talk about vegetables. Now, you would have to live under a rock to not realize that vegetables are healthy for you. And all countries, nutrition bodies and government bodies and the World Health Organization, they all agree that we could all get some more vegetables into our lives. And in fact, there probably wouldn't be an obesity epidemic if all of us ate tons more vegetables. So I'm going to teach you how you can get more veggies into your day, even if you hate veggies. Are you ready? Okay, let's get started. So the first thing is you want to start your day with veggies. What? Don't freak out. Am I telling you you can't have your sugar-crusted, crunchy cereal, Captain Crunch Cocoa Pops? Yes, I am, because those breakfast cereals are full of sugar. And when you start your day off with sugar, guess what your body craves all day? Sugar. So let's ditch those sugary cereals and put some nutrition into our body. We want optimal nutrition in our body so that it runs like a well-oiled machine, and veggies are the perfect thing for that. So you can go hardcore like I do and just get a whole bunch of veggies, and I like carrots and broccoli and cauliflower and green peas and kale and zucchinis and red capsicums, and I chop them all up in advance, and then I leave them in the fridge, or even in the freezer. You can buy bags of frozen veggies pre-chopped so you don't ever have to worry about that. And then in the morning, I just steam them or microwave them and cover them in either some reduced balsamic vinegar or one of my lovely sauces. So I make fantastic sauces out of vegetables. I've got a plant-based cheese sauce that has no cheese in it, and it's made out of veggies, and you put that all on top of your veggies for breakfast, and it just tastes unbelievable. You can make a red sauce, which is kind of like a spaghetti sauce, which is really nice. You can make a mushroom gravy. There's so many things that you can do to make those veggies palatable. So if you're listening to me and thinking, I'm tuning out from this chick, there's no way I'm going to be chopping up veggies and having them for breakfast. Well, fair enough. That's like the 100%. That's when you're really on the ball with your veggies. If you can't do that, maybe you can put some veggies in your smoothie. So if you like a fruit smoothie, say bananas and strawberries or whatever, you don't want to just have fruit, because fruit is really, really high in sugar. It's the good sugar and it's not going to hurt you, but you don't want that sugar spike. So you want to get some fiber into your morning. So chuck in a whole bunch of spinach into your smoothie and you won't even know it's there. You can also chuck in some other veggies as well. Red capsicum is really, really sweet. I challenge you to put some of that in your smoothie and you won't even notice that it's there. It's fantastic. The other thing that you can do is you can do some juicing. Now, if you have a lot of weight to lose, I'm not a great fan of juicing per se because you lose all the fiber. But if you can't stomach the vegetables and you could stomach a juice as a way to get into eating vegetables, then I'm all for juicing in that respect. And I know there are people that say, look, stop eating food, just juice for 6 weeks or whatever, and you'll lose 100 pounds or whatever. And I've watched the videos, I've watched the movie, I've followed those people for a little while, and you can do it, but you really, really need the fiber. So I'm trying to get you past all that trial and error and getting you to the place that you want to be as quickly as possible. So If you want to do a green juice as well as your breakfast, then go ahead and do that. But remember that if you're going to be juicing kale and chard and collards and celery, it's going to taste like grass, and you're not going to want to drink that. So you actually have to put something sweet in there. So get a really sweet apple or an orange, maybe some cucumber, some watermelon, some cantaloupe or whatever, and put it in there to cut the grassiness of the green. Your drink still has to look green, but you just want to cut some of that grassiness. Otherwise, you will never drink that. You'll try it once and that'll be the end for you. You can also, if you are really, really lazy, and I don't recommend this, but you could try a greens powder. I'm not a big fan of greens powder because, it might be a whole food, but it's dehydrated and, it's pretty processed. If you really, really, really can't get the fresh veggies into your smoothie, then you could try a greens powder. But you want to be really careful with what you buy. It has to be 100% organic greens, just dehydrated and smushed up. And you can do that yourself. You can get your kale from the farmer's market. You can chop it up into little pieces, chuck it in your dehydrator or your air fryer, or even put it in your oven on 50 degrees Celsius or whatever for a couple of hours or overnight, and then put it in your blender, and then you've got greens powder. That's what I'm talking about. Not greens powder with all these additives and sugar substitutes and blah, blah, blah. Forget those. You can make your own greens powder just by blending up some kale when it's dried. What else? Okay, you can add a salad to every meal. Now, the benefit of having a salad to every meal is that it is high in volume, so it's large, and large things fill your stomach because they're big, and your stomach is only so whatever size it is, so big, and then once you fill it up, it gets full. So you want to fill it up with things that are really low calorie, so things like your tomatoes and your onions and your cucumbers and your greens and your red and green and orange peppers and things like that. Jicama is really good. Things that are a lot of water, very little calories, but masses of nutrients. So you have your salad before you have your main meal, and then you're going to eat less of your main meal because there's just not enough room in your stomach. The other thing is that it takes you a long time to chew raw vegetables. So you're going to be getting those enzymes in your saliva working. You're going to start your digestive process off, and it's really going to make everything work really, really well. Vegetables are full of fantastic prebiotics, and they feed your probiotics in your gut. So by eating raw vegetables first, you're basically getting your digestive system ready to work, and you're increasing your gut microbia and your microbiota inside your intestines so that you have better poos, your gut works better, and you are healthier overall. Okay, what if you hate salad? Well, people, you've got to learn to love salad. The first thing you do is you start with vegetables you like. What if you say, well, the only thing I like is tomatoes? Fine. Have 2 tomatoes. It doesn't matter. And then try, okay, what if I had a tomato with some cucumber and I put a little bit of balsamic vinegar on it? What would that taste like? Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, and what if I put some of this rocket lettuce on it? Oh, that's not too bad. So just try what you like. Give it a go. Give it a try. Try different toppings on it. I already mentioned the sauces, but you can get reduced balsamic vinegars. You can mix balsamic vinegar with mustard, and that is really nice as well. And you can also buy non-oil, non-sugar, non-salt salad dressings. I've got a favorite company, which I've mentioned before, called Well Your World, and you can get their stuff on my website, fabuloushealth.net. I'm an affiliate for them, so I really appreciate you going through my website to check them out. They've got magnificent salad dressings, and you can just pile them on everything. And if you really can't handle the taste of veggies, put their beautiful, yummy, tasty salad dressings on, and then you won't even notice that you're eating them. What if it's freezing cold, you're in Alaska or Canada or wherever, and it's snowing outside, and you actually can't buy fresh produce, fresh veggies? Well, you can use frozen veggies and you can make them into a soup. It's so simple to make soup. Veggie stock, veggies, bit of water, spices, herbs and spices, and you're done. Just cook it for a while. You can pimp it up a bit more and put some legumes in there, like some red lentils, which will make it a little bit creamier. But seriously, it's so simple. Just chuck things in a pot, simmer them, taste, and when you're happy with it, there you go. You've got soup. What if your kids or you can't handle the sight of veggies? Well, I got a really good idea for you to hide them. So let's say you're making spaghetti sauce, pomodoro sauce, which is red sauce, marinara sauce if you're in America. And what you do is you get your carrots and you grate them, and your zucchini and you grate them, and your red pepper and you grate them, and then you put them in the sauce. And if that's too much texture for you, blend it. Completely blend it with all the tomatoes and the onions and the garlic and all the herbs and spices, and you will not even know that those extra vegetables are in there. That's really good if you've got kids that can't handle it. My daughter used to only like red sauce. That was it. And I thought, well, you can't live on tomatoes alone, my darling. So I used to blend all the different veggies into the sauce. So she was getting a huge plate of vegetables, even though she didn't even know it. You can make zucchini bread. You can make zucchini muffins. You can make carrot cake. Get a recipe that doesn't have very much sugar in it. Otherwise, we're, it's not actually doing what we want to do. But you can actually make sweets using vegetables. Add them in there and use fruit as your sweetness. Things like dates and apple sauces and bananas and things like that for the sweetness component. But use the internet for recipes and find recipes that add veggies. For spaghetti and pasta, you can make your own using a spiralizer, and you can make it out of sweet potato or zucchini, any kind of squash, pumpkin, and then pour your spaghetti sauce on top of that. Another really good thing to do is to take a red sweet potato or even a white one like a white yam and slice it into slices and put it in the toaster and use it as toast. So that's another way to get more veggies into your day. So when you're having your lunch, dinner, breakfast even, you want half your plate to be fibrous vegetables. So fibrous vegetables are all the ones with tons of water. So that's everything that's not potato, squash, corn. So those are starchy vegetables. So your fibrous vegetables are all your greens, your reds, your oranges, things like carrots, spinach, cucumbers, broccolis, cauliflowers, zucchinis, asparagus, all those things. They are your fibrous vegetables. So half your plate with fibrous vegetables, then a quarter your plate with grains and starchy vegetables, whole grains, of course, not refined grains. So I'm talking about brown rice and things like einkorn, wheat, farro, millet, quinoa, that kind of stuff. And then a quarter of your plate with your legumes. If you're making fajitas, have tons and tons and tons of veggies in them, not just your red and green peppers and your onions. You can chuck anything in fajitas. In fact, there's a fantastic restaurant. If you ever go to Waco, Texas, there is a fantastic Mexican restaurant around the corner from the silos called Echo in Waco, and it is fantastic. Their fajitas are so good. They put every vegetable under the sun in their fajitas. So I highly recommend you go to that restaurant. So I hope I gave you a ton of ideas on how to get more veggies into your day and into your kids' day and into your family's day. And I hope I provided you with great value. So I've got tons of great stuff on my website. Check it out at fabuloushealth.net. And if you want to take your health to the next level, I'd love you to join me on my course, The Quick Road to Fabulous Weight Loss. I can't even talk. The Quick Road to Fabulous Weight Loss. You'll find that also on fabuloushealth.net. And if you use the discount code podcast, I'll give you a 50% discount. How's that? Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate you. And tomorrow, I promised it today, but I'm going to do it tomorrow because it does require a bit more research on my part. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk to you about why cheese is not your friend. It's true. You guys have a fabulous day. See you later.